Talk radio for the Generation X audience and beyond who have conservative values. Now, here's the host of Conservatives Talk, Donald Thornton.
All right, we're back, and we're talking about the professional black left exploiting the Trayvon Martin tragedy. I want to know what you think. 800-949-5973. Do you agree with my assessment? Do you disagree? I want to hear from you. 800-949-5973. Because this is the thing that always, like I said, it irritates me every time something like this happens, how loud they get when you see something. And like I said, again, this is a tragedy. There is no doubt about it. This young man should still be alive. But the fact of the matter is, black-on-black crime is nothing new. Black-on-black crime is a horrible, horrible thing. A young man, let me back up and say it like this. A young black man dying, being shot to death, is an occurrence that happens in this nation too much. But it's not the neighborhood watch guys. It's not the transit cop police. It's not the policeman who's normally the perpetrator in these sad events. It's usually another black man, his peer. I mean, where are the rallies in black-on-black killing zones like Chicago and Detroit, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Kansas City, St. Louis, where black-on-black crime is just through the roof? Where are the rallies for that? Where are the rallies last summer when young black people, or young people who were mainly black, were doing what they call mob robberies throughout the nation? Where were the rallies for that? To say how egregious and horrible that was. I'm not minimizing this tragedy. I'm just saying. 800-949-5973. Why isn't there a rally for stuff like that? All right, let's go ahead and start taking some calls. 800-949-5973. Those of you on hold, stay on hold. Lines are popping. 800-949-5973. I just want to get to the root of it. I want to understand why these tragedies are used to promote an agenda. Why aren't they used instead to figure out the truth and let's learn from this? But yet what happens is the leftists always seem to want to promote their agenda. 800-949-5973. Ron, you are on the air. Welcome to Conservatives Talk. Let me know what you are thinking, sir.
Well, what I'm thinking about, I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm looking at the overall situation. Had not someone came forward, whether it's Al Sharpton or whatever, and spoke out about this situation that happened to this young man, he would have got washed under the rug like so many other crimes that I've heard about that was spoken about that happened in that little town. For instance, there was a deaf mute. He was on somebody's porch. They shot him to death, but they used that law to that. There was another man said a man broke in his house, chased him down the street, stabbed him to death. They used that law for that. So what I'm saying to you is that an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So if someone doesn't speak out about this, it'll get squashed under the rug. Now, whether you're white, black, green, yellow, orange, it doesn't matter. He killed that young boy. And had somebody not spoken up and let us know about this, no telling how much more of this injustice would have happened there or anywhere else. So I'm looking at, we need to know about these things in order for something to be done about it. Because the Justice Department needs to know about this. They need to do something about that situation. And
Ron, I completely agree with you. Thank you so much. Good sentiments. I don't agree with almost everything you said, but now, and again, those situations you mentioned, I don't know anything about them. But if that is the case, obviously those things need to be investigated. And again, you are right, as you did. You quoted, I believe, Martin Luther King, that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. That is truth. You are right. And like I've said at the beginning of this show, what happened to that man, that young kid, should be addressed. It should be addressed. It was wrong. He should not be dead now. And whether or not the media attention from all these people would have garnered this type of investigation, we don't know. You may be true on that. But what I'm saying is I'm looking at the totality of what happens when a situation like a Trayvon Martin happens. And how we're not consistent as people of color when we kill each other. How is it that we can demand justice from somebody outside of our community, but don't demand justice from within our community? Tell me. Anybody. 800-949-5973. How can I hold the Neighborhood Watch Association accountable? How can I hold the transit police accountable? How can I hold the police accountable for yes, what may have been tragedies, what may have been injustice, but yet I am grossly and eerily quiet when we are killing each other? This is the thing that frustrates me. Where is the consistency? Where is it? Where is the same sentiment when we're killing each other? Where is it? 800-949-5973. I want to know what you think. All right, let's go back to the phones. 800-949-5973, because that's the thing that irritates me. That's the thing that we have to address. How can we hold others accountable and say they need to, there needs to be justice in that situation? And there does. Don't get me wrong. There needs to be justice in the situation. But we've got to hold ourselves just as accountable. Because the reason why so many young black kids are dying in our streets is not because of the George Zimmermans of the world. It's not because of the transit police. It's not because of the police. It's because we're killing each other. It's because of hoodism. I'm going to explain what I mean by that as we go on in the show. It's because this culture of hoodism that we've allowed in our society, in the black community in particular. All right, David, welcome to the show. Let me know what you are thinking, sir.
Well, I want to mention this. You castigated the left for using this tragedy to promote an agenda, but I'd like to point out that you yourself, in mentioning this tragedy, promoted your Facebook page, promoted your blog, and are promoting your show. And so if you're going to attack my friends on the left for promoting themselves or promoting an agenda out of this tragedy, I think you should look in the mirror.
So who am I exploiting, David, by promoting my Facebook page, talking about my show and my Twitter account? Who am I exploiting?
Well, who did
I take advantage of by?
I didn't say you took advantage. I said you promoted your agenda.
Right. So, okay. No, I'm promoting my show. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's okay. I'm promoting my show.
Using this tragedy to promote your show, your Facebook page, and your blog.
So how does that compare? Okay, because I'm not equating the comparison of what I just did and what the left is doing by going and exploiting a tragedy like what happened. I'm talking about
to exploit. What is it they're exploiting?
What do you mean? What is it they're exploiting? Have you not been following the situation, David? You've got now all of a sudden.
Question?
I am answering your question.
What is it that you answered it with a question? What is it they are exploiting?
What they're exploiting is what they're saying is now this has become an agenda for the left to change gun laws in society. This is becoming an agenda of the left to say, see, white America, this is what we've been telling you about the plight of young black people in this country. And their narrative is wrong. Their narrative is mischaracterized. This situation, David.
There's an equal but opposite agenda, and that is to fight the gun control lobby, to fight those people. And,
well, of course.
And just as quickly, those people are jumping into this fray as well to talk about gun control.
Right, and they have every reason to, because again, it wasn't the stand your ground law that killed this young man. It wasn't the law. Because anybody who has seen this case and has kept up with this case, David, has said this young man or this community watch guy pursued him. If you read the law, David, the law has nothing to do about pursuit. It has mentions nothing about pursuing. It's talking about standing your ground when you're being threatened, period. So, yeah, of course I'm going to – you're creating a red herring and you're comparing apples to oranges. It's not the same thing. Obviously, I'm going to promote my radio show. I mean, come on, David. Come on. As a young black man, as a black person, I know what it feels like, David. I don't know about you, but I know what it feels like. I've been walking, okay, and had police stop and shine their big lights on me and ask me what I've been doing. As a young black man, I've been at a store when I've had security guards follow me. As a young black man, I've gotten on an elevator, David, and had women clutch their purse. So I know what it's like. I understand what it's like. But what I'm saying, even though all those incidents have happened to me and worse, it does not give me the right to exploit this situation and say, look, see, America, white America, you are the blame for this. We need to change our laws. We need to promote a more leftist agenda. I don't have that right. What I can, all I can do, David, is control my behavior.
I don't think you could name anyone that has done what you've just said.
What are you talking about? I just explained to you what has happened to me as a young black person. And what I'm talking about. Listen.
Exploiting this. Frankly,
of course they are exploiting.
When you have a tragedy like this, it's altogether healthy to look at the causes of it, to discuss the causes of it.
But that's not what's happening.
The laws
that's not what's happening
in these types of situations. What's happening then?
What's happening is
what's
what's happening, David, is this. What's always happening, and I appreciate your call. I want to get some more calls. I appreciate your point of view, by the way. 800-949-5973. What's happening is what always happens when a tragedy like this happens. You have the professional left, whether it be black professional left, whether it be homosexual professional left, whether it be women professional left. They use these situations, like the Sandra Fluke situation, to promote an agenda. They use a situation when a young person who is gay or bullied decides to kill themselves to promote their agenda. And what I'm doing, David, is bringing light to that situation. And I'm saying enough is enough. Now, how you compare that to me talking about my Facebook page and talking about of course, I'm going to promote my show. Of course, I'm going to promote my Facebook page. This is a topic that is in our news and our culture today. Of course, I'm going to talk about it. I mean, come on, man. 800-949-5973. They're using this to gain their advantage, to push their agenda. I'm using this to shed a light on the fact that they need to stop. That the sideshow that happens anytime something like this happens must stop. Yes, you investigate. Yes, you find out what happened. Yes, you do whatever you can to correct the wrong. But you don't use this to promote your leftist agenda. You don't use this to say the law was wrong. There's nothing wrong with the stand your ground law. Like I told you, we have that law here in Texas, and I'm glad we do. I'm glad we do. Now, did the Sanford police more than likely make a mistake? It seems pretty clear that they did. It seems pretty clear, at least to this point, that they did. They should have arrested this man. But the problem is, we cannot allow the liberal left to create a sideshow. We cannot allow them to come in now, as what I've seen, and compare this tragedy of this young man to the Emmett Till tragedy of 1955.
You've been listening to Excervatives Talk radio for the Generation X audience and beyond, with host Donald Thornton.